So there are a few things I want to point out here before we jump into this. Number one, it's another letter written to Kenneth. Number two, look up in the top corner. Do not upload this letter online. And Kenneth has disobeyed Chris, and this is astounding, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't expect Kenneth to break off the leash like that. And then another thing, look at the date on the other corner, January 11th, 2022. So this isn't like a new letter where Chris is freaking out about his court date and it being pushed back like 6 months. So it's there's still probably going to be some crazy shit in here, but it's not going to be like the freak out everyone's hoping about. I don't know though. I haven't read the letter yet, and Chris is saying don't upload this online. So we'll find out what he's saying. So let's get into it. Hey, Kenneth. Firstly, so you know, that was Angelica Rosechew herself, not I, nor any pretending and falseness or lie. You have received a letter that was directly written by her, and she had asked you kindly not to upload her letter online. We found that you had uploaded her letter. Kenneth, she felt really betrayed when you did that. Oh, I can't imagine how Angelica Rosechew is about to feel now. This is big time betrayal here. And Angelica Rosechew does not take betrayal lightly. Well, there you go. If you don't hear from Kenneth again, it's probably because Angelica Rosechew got to him. Apparently, she does not take no shit. So, I would not want to be Kenneth right now. And thus, with her goddess abilities, she had struck divine retribution upon you. Oh man, and Kenneth is getting it this week. That really awful day you had shortly after uploading her letter when you were not supposed to brought her divine wrath against yourself when you did that. So I don't know what happened here. Apparently Kengel had a really bad day, told Chris all about it, and now Chris is using that to go, see, motherfucker? Like, this is why you don't go against my good word. And, wait, I'm looking down here. So Chris says next, upload this letter and you betray me, Kenneth, and I shall not be as restrained as she was on this first time offense. You are on thin ice with us, Kenneth, and we have plans with you. What does that mean? I guess that means in like Chris's whole like image of how the world's going to be shaped, Kengel's a big part of that. Probably because it's like I've brought up before in other videos, Kengel's one of the only people who seemingly writes Chris still, which is a good thing, but we do not want to drop you as an apostle of mine over repeated betrayal. You can almost hear Chris saying that, betrayal. That being stated, Kenneth, I do have a couple of things I want to talk to you about. Ooh, Kengel's about to get it. So, like I said, I don't know the backstory here. I guess Kengel put one of Chris's letters online that he wasn't supposed to, and somehow Chris got word of that in jail. So Chris is like one of these like mob bosses. He was just getting word coming in and out, like, oh, this motherfucker did what? This motherfucker stabbed me in the back on the outside. Well, you know what, Kengel? I sent Angelica Rosechew to give you a real bad day. And, I wonder what's going to happen to him now, because with this offense, I mean, all bets are off. Now, before we get into this next page, there's probably going to be some overlap, because this is where Chris calls Barb Merlin the Magician, and I just got to read it to give it some context of what we're talking about here, but we did go over this little snippet a couple weeks ago. But to make clear with everyone, I have never, ever said nor felt my mom, Barbara Ann Weston Chandler Rosechew, was a god of any sort, nor is she Emmanuel or even Virgin Mary reincarnated. If anything, Barbara is the reincarnation of Merlin the Magician, but Emmanuel, God above gods, was my father when I was born in Bethlehem over 2,022 years ago. Emmanuel had changed her gender to female in physicality and form over a century ago. Emmanuel planted an ovum from her ovary into Barbara's ovary to attract me from my forward and back trip through time. Dear God. After what happened with me in 1389, when the universe was divided into my second physical birth on February 24th, 1982. I forgot how batshit that whole like spiel was. Just everything from him going from the, planted the thing in Barb's ovary, which is really weird to just talk about in general. Him starting it by saying, I have never said nor felt my mom, Barbara, was a god. But the way he phrases that at first, it sounds completely different. I've never said nor felt my mom, which, you know, it's not true. It's not true. But yeah, February 24th, 1982, into this immortal body of mine. With that, Emmanuel is my mother. Even though Chris just said something about Emmanuel being his father, I don't understand the context of half the shit Chris is saying. This is all so confusing. I still am half Sonichu, see what I'm saying? Physically, due to my trip through the apex of the chaotic rainbow of 2003, between Sonichu Prime and Rosie Rosechu Prime. Remember, Emmanuel herself can change her physical form into any creature, including a Sonichu form. Yet Arceus, the first main one, was manifested from a piece of her. So we're just jumping all over the map here. Pokemon, Sonic, Sonichu is a mix between both of them. So it's like still, Chris is still into those two properties very heavily. And, it's I've seen people say it in my comment section before, but Chris is going through it right now. If he's realizing that he's not getting to play Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is dope, probably doesn't even know about that crazy. Well, I assume someone probably wrote him in jail and told him all about that new Sonic game coming out, like the big open world looking one. Yeah, fact of the matter is Chris is gonna have a lot of catching up to do once he gets out of jail. Now back to Barbara. I have extended her life. Oh my god. See, that little line right there, like we've talked about Chris talking about before, how him doing what he did to his mom was like healing her and stuff. But I think what he's saying here is just him like going off more crazy Jesus shit and just saying, I healed her. We'll keep reading further. I probably should have kept reading further before I just jumped into that. But okay, I have extended her life, but she recently fell lethargic. So Chris is just now jumping onto the Sonichu. Chris is jumping on now to the Barb is Snorlax thing about 15 years too late. I guess he's getting a little resentful there, thinking Barb put him behind bars, and now he's just saying fuck that Snorlax. But that could mean something entirely differently too, that Barb's just not moving much anymore. I don't know. And I am concerned. I have always been concerned of this possibility from her present human form abilities. What does that mean? I guess just how she moves around the house and all. Chris notices she's getting older, and so this is from a month ago, so maybe Chris is getting word that Barb's not doing well. I don't know. I have been praying to my ally gods, as well as continuing to work hard through and consistently out of body and through my body as the conduit it is, for her and everyone. Until the divine event, my body is presently, the time of writing this letter, still in this jail building, and the gods and I can only do so much from our retrospective areas and abilities for Barbara. So, instead of just telling Kenneth, hey man, my mom's not doing well, I really want someone to go check on her, maybe Chris will say that, but he immediately jumps into, the reason she's not doing well is because, I'm here in jail, and I guess Chris being in jail puts everything on hold. Every god is kind of shut down right now because Chris is in jail and no one else can go help her. Like I said, this is one of those Chris things where he's talking about the ally gods. I don't know why he can't just send Zeus over there to make Barbara some ramen or something, just anything. But it's, yeah, to him, being in that jail building, this is something I probably shouldn't say, but I do feel if God forbid something happens to Barb, Chris will be real pissed off that he was in jail at the time and blame the police and everything. So I don't know. That's just something I feel Chris would do based on his track record. But let's just move on to the next page. I'm thinking too much speculation here. Let me put down the blunt and pick back up the letter here. I have humbly asked you, my followers, and my church's congregation to financially help Barbara, as well as to visit in person to talk, hang out with, and or at least check in and help her. What the fuck happened? This is, like I said last week, Chris was saying shit in his letter, which was weird to see Chris curse in these letters because he really hasn't. But now he's just dropping a big old F-bomb. So that's shows that Chris is serious here. Him saying that, he's just asking people all to, financially help Barbara is one of those things where Chris thinks he can just say out loud, I need money and money will be given. I didn't even know he was still allowed in like any church's congregation. I thought he got kicked out of all of them in the Charlottesville area, but I don't know that for certain. And then also Chris saying that people to go over and hang out with Barbara is just, I just imagine people rolling up there with like a pack of backwoods, like, yo, let's roll up a fatty, Barb. Yo, what game's on tonight, Barb? Like, but all right, what the fuck happened? I hear of hatred-filled laughter and mockery upon Barbara, especially with the accident last November. I don't who told him about that. I don't see people all shitting on Barb. All I saw were people kind of concerned about what was going to happen to Barb, especially after what Chris did to her. He talks about the accident last November. Most people are focused on the fucking travesty that happened last July, maybe June through July. So, Chris is mad now that people are apparently laughing and mocking Barb over the car accident, which that's just, I mean, I don't know. I assume he's just saying that now because, like, people aren't giving her money, so he's assuming that they're mocking her. I don't know. But I, thy Lord and God, feel baffled and pissed off from that. So God, you remember, guys, Jesus Christ, God himself, our Lord and God, just said fuck and pissed off in the same, like, few sentences. So I'm pretty good about feeling where I'm going to end up in the afterlife, how I talk in these videos, knowing that God does it too. But these were simple things I have asked of thee, and thou hast failed this test of respecting and loving thy neighbor as thou wouldst. He did it again. He did it in last week's letter too. He said wouldst again. Why does he do that now? What's his thing with the word wouldst? But of you wouldst of I. Meditate on that. And he underlined it to make it extra serious. So, yeah. Chris is not having the fact that Barb isn't getting monetary donations. Pretty sure we talked about that a couple weeks ago too and said that was not going to happen. Nobody, like, especially with Chris not being home, people aren't going to, flock to throw money at Barbara Chandler, that woman who's given us so much entertainment and stuff over the years who you just want to donate to. It's just, no one's going to give money to his fucking mom. And him saying it just, I don't know. Chris is really out of it in this one. Oh my me. No. It didn't. I thought he was saying like some weird like Chris thing where he's like, oh me my, like some weird just like he says these things sometimes. It's like how sometimes he breaks into British like I don't know where I'm going with this, but it hit me when what he just did, and that is just amazing. Oh my me. Oh my fucking me, ladies and gentlemen. Now that, it's finally Chris did something like pretty funny in one of these letters. Oh my me. He replaced the word God with me. I know he's done this before in these letters, but that one just, well, that's brilliant. The least thou can do without going public about it, Kenneth, is thou can locate a genuinely kind and positive individual close to the Sonichu temple as possible who will voluntarily tend to or at least visit and check on daily Barbara and her needs. Once again, that would be a nice thing to do. Barb Chandler's like an old woman who probably can't take care of herself much anymore, but who the fuck is going to do that? Especially around the like Ruckersville area where it's known that they have a reputation. So like I don't know. Once again, this is just something like Chris is talking about. He just said oh my me, for fuck's sake. You can't expect him to be in the right mind to think rationally. So I don't even know why I'm like kind of trying to keep dunking on him so hard. Like I understand here that I'm picking on a pretty weak target, but at the same time, like when you see things like oh my me, it's like you just what the fuck? Why doth thou amongst my followers feign ignorance and ineptitude in thy concerns and care of thy elderly and better experienced individuals? He really tried hard to sound like crazy intelligent, crazy biblical with that statement. And, I mean, in the right context, maybe, Chris, but right now, after you just... oh my, I still can't get over oh my me, but So as you can see on the bottom of the screen here, it looks like it's the end of the letter with all of Chris's like symbols and his calling cards, kind of like the little like Joker thing. But unlike other letters, Chris is just showing us his logos and his symbols. So there's Chris's My CPU Blue Heart logo / my personal cutie mark. The fuck? God has a cutie mark, ladies and gentlemen. What is that? The old crucifix? What is that? My Sharonic crystal? The neo-spiritual Christianity crucifix. And then Chris puts down there just to make sure it is not called the Sonichu cross, because I assume people were writing to him and saying, "Yo, Chris, what's up with the Sonichu cross?" Yeah, so he put all three of his logos together in one a big like three-headed amalgamation religion called neo-spiritual Christianity. And it's like we are really, and you know, I've seen tons of y'all saying it in my comment section. I've seen people saying it everywhere, but we really are taking really slight steps into cult territory here. That name is just cult as fuck. Neo-spiritual Christianity. Yeah, let's go on. There's like 2 more pages left. Also, postal money orders at the post office to me at this jail during any remaining time is the next fastest method to send money into my inmate account in lieu of the website. So Chris just spent like the last whole page talking about how his mom desperately needs money because she's not doing very well. But just remember to also send money to Chris because he needs it in there too. It's like I said, it wouldn't be a Chris letter without some good old penmanship or letter written e-begging. I butchered that joke. I don't even know where we're at right now. And one last thing I will state to the Kenneth Englehart. It's just the name Kenneth Englehart just sounds fucking fake, but it's not. Thou hast done well in relaying my details and the divine truths. I thought Kenneth was on thin ice. Like, I thought he was in trouble, but now Chris is praising him. But yeah, you've done well in relaying my details and the divine truth through thy onion farms. Onion Farms is like, what a dick-eating name for a website. You're just trying to, just whatever. And I appreciate thy kindness and deeds, despite thy thoughts, that wouldst, there we go again with wouldst, that wouldst put these, that wouldst put thee typically into the neutral bed. Yet thou art neutral good, and I wouldst, God damn it, Chris, I wouldst not like to see thy fail. I hath spoken kind and defended thee with my husband, Magichan Sonichu, and even with my mother, Emmanuel. This is why people are so confused, Chris, because you went on this long spiel about how, like, Emmanuel isn't your mother, you know, Barb's not Emmanuel. Maybe you did say Emmanuel was your mother, but then you also said at one point, like, he was your father at one point. I don't know. Shit is just fucking everywhere. Thy not as good and egotistical misdeeds hath prompted a concerning guidance to surrender thee to the burning earth and judgment day, but I have not surrendered thee, yet I hath most concerning and strict watch over thee and thy actions. Be very cautious with thy choices and deeds in these remaining days before the completion of the collective shift. Kenneth Englehart. I wouldst, God fucking damn it, Chris, I wouldst hate to have to see thee left behind. That is all for now. Be safe and well, and there's Chris's giant, like, signature, but we still have another page here. The one thing I really need to bring up is that Chris is just divulging into this horrible, like, what is this language? Like, is it biblical? Is he just trying to use, like, words he thinks sound smart? Like, there's so many these and thys and haths and fucking wouldsts. Chris was actually getting better with his penmanship and how he was writing for a while. I mean, his penmanship was better, not the way he was writing. It was always a mess, but it wasn't this fucking, like, just, this is his dreck. But let's get to the last page here, and then we can finally wrap this up. Keep this offline. Do not even quote this page online. So let's read what this page is. So, postscript: meditate on and consider this. I'm sorry, let me restart that. Meditate on and consider this in knowing, Kenneth Englehart. I have long genuinely foreknown all of these events in these recent months, as well as all alternative outcomes from where I had not healed Barbara with the extreme soul bonding and so forth. So he basically, that's why he didn't want Kenneth to. Does Chris know he's incriminating himself now? Like, dear God. And maybe that's, I don't know. If that's the reason Chris didn't want him to, like, I don't know. I'm just at a loss for words. He did it again. He hasn't done it in a while, but he just did it again, so he admits to the extensive soul bonding and so forth. I had foreknown I would have likely ended up in jail or away from home extensively months to years before August 2021. From my better, I'm going to assume that says recollection or something, from my better recollection, rebirth, and return with my second coming, as well as the benefit of everyone of 1218 Earth and Barbara, I had willingly sacrificed temporarily my own freedom. Meditate on that for yourself. And I'd like your phone number, please, so I may call you, whatever. And he doesn't want that call leaked online, Kenneth, so hey, don't do it again. But wow, that's a fucking weird last page to unpack. So Chris is now saying that he foresaw all of this. Why does he need to be in jail right now for the benefit of everyone? He doesn't need to tell you that, because I guess it's for his rebirth. But yeah, he's trying to even say now that he knew this was going to happen. He knew he'd be in jail. Is this premeditation? Is this him admitting to being like, yeah, I kind of knew beforehand I'd be in jail here. I knew this would happen if I did this. I don't know. That's just me speculating, but it sounds like he's saying that. It really does. And him saying the extreme soul bonding thing, that's just him admitting to fucking Barb again. And that's fucking weird, man. Like I said, I don't know why Chris wouldn't want this page shared. I guess it's just because I don't know. Like, what's so different about this page than all the other pages? Like, this is just as batshit insane. I guess it's because Chris knows he's saying something he probably shouldn't, like, say again. Maybe his lawyer told him, like, to not tell this to people, but he, like, felt he could trust Kenneth enough to say it. But, I mean, look what Kenneth did now. It's all over the place. So, it's a mess. It's a mess in there. But, once again, I say in every letter video, Chris brought this all on himself. So, as I also say in every letter video, don't write Chris. Don't get involved in some bullshit like Kenneth is here, writing Chris back and forth. Just laugh at it, and just sit back with the rest of us, smoke up a fat joint, and laugh at this shit show on the internet, because this is one crazy shit show. So usually I end my videos there, but I have this little snippet of gameplay from the Smoke Show yesterday, and I thought I'd put it on screen here. It's just a bunch of people involved in Chris's life, like Clyde Cash, Liquid Chris, Ethan Ralph, Isabella Jank, Sonichu, some more relevant than others in Chris's life, but nonetheless, I thought it was appropriate. And I wanted to talk about the fact that it's just kind of sinking in that Chris turns 40 years old in about 2 weeks from now, and he'll spend it behind bars, which we've already talked about, which is inevitable now. But it's just fucking wow, man. Like, I've watched Chris Chan videos for maybe about 3 years, and so I haven't been around that long. But the one thing I can tell you is that it's weird seeing those videos from Chris when he's talking about the like, hello, boys and girls, dudes of all teen ages, when he's 25 or 24, or however old he was, and now seeing the Chris that's behind bars and turning 40 in prison, and it's just a fucked up sight. And by the time he gets out, he'll be 40 and a half. So, yeah, the one thing you can say about Chris is that he's not going into jail as a 40-year-old virgin, or leaving jail as a 40-year-old virgin, because, I mean, Barb has that shit on lock. She has that covered. And I shouldn't be making jokes about that situation. It's a gross situation, and it's just, yeah, this is how far we've come. I remember back when I started making videos on this, I never really thought it would get past the first continuance. Knowing what happens with Chris, I thought we would find out what happens back in September, and that would be that. Either he would get out or he'd face some time in jail. And now we sit here 6 months later, and it's still everything's a fucking toss-up. So I think at the end of this continuance, or not this continuance, at the end of this next hearing, we will have a solid outcome, but I don't even know what it'll be. A lot of people predict time served, which will already be like a year sentence, and he'll already have served a year at that point, so they'll just say, all right, let him out. But I don't know. I don't know nothing about law, so I can't really like make a solid opinion on this anyway. But I really wanted to kind of just sit here and go, fuck, like Chris really is turning 40. That's so wild. The love sign now will read 21 to 40-year-old woman, and you know, it's just wild how far we've come. The match in the ring right now, it's getting pretty hectic. Isabella Jank and Ethan Ralph are already tossed out, and now Chris himself is out. So Sonichu is on his own here to fend off against Clyde and Liquid, and it's going to be an uphill battle for Sonichu, but you know, we'll see what happens. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, that's really it for the Chris talk. There wasn't much I had to add at the end of this video. I just wanted to talk about how, like, kind of weirdly surreal it is that that man is pushing 40, but he's still, you know, when he gets out, it's right back to the Sonichu shit, but, you know, he can't help himself. Chris is fucking, you know, he's got the issues, so. But, yeah, when that day comes that he's out, man, it's going to be real weird, but another day it's going to be weirder is when I realize, holy shit, Chris Chan is actually 40 already, so. We'll make a video probably. We'll react to some old good thing in Christery by on the 24th. But other than that, yeah. Like I said, I don't really have much else to talk about this, so I want to let y'all enjoy the rest of this match. I want to thank y'all for all your support, all the help everyone's been giving me, tips about how to do shit on here. I hope y'all have been enjoying the videos. I want to give a shout out to Holly, Sky, Krabby, your mom, and wait a minute. Oh man, the trolls just said fuck you to Sonichu. They work together, and now Liquid Chris. This man might have it won here. I'm thinking that Liquid Chris might have Clyde Cash in the bag. He just hit him with the Liquid Twister, but wait a minute. Clyde Cash, in his Bart Simpson-ass fucking created character, just eliminates Liquid, and there we go. Clyde Cash wins the Battle Royal, and USA, for some reason, USA signs are all over the crowd, so repping the USA, good on you, Clyde Cash. But yeah, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Have a great rest of your day. Spark one up for me. Just have a wonderful, what is it today? Oh, it's Valentine's Day. Have a great Valentine's Day. Be safe.